Today, we delve into the incredible story of British Airways Flight 9, also known as the Jakarta Incident. This is a tale of survival against all odds, where a Boeing 747 lost all 4 engines in mid-flight. Let's uncover the events of that fateful night on June 24, 1982. British Airways Flight 9, also known by its call sign Speedbird 9, was a scheduled flight from London Heathrow to Auckland, New Zealand, with several stopovers in Bombay, Kuala Lumpur, Perth, and Melbourne. The aircraft, a Boeing 747-236B named City of Edinburgh, was carrying 263 people, including 248 passengers and 15 crew members. The journey began uneventfully, with the aircraft departing from Kuala Lumpur on time. The passengers settled in for the long flight, unaware of the drama that would soon unfold. The flight crew for the Kuala Lumpur to Perth leg consisted of Captain Eric Moody, Senior First Officer Roger Greaves, and Senior Engineer Officer Barry Townley Freeman. Captain Moody was an experienced pilot with over 15,000 flight hours. The crew performed their routine checks and monitored the aircraft's systems as they cruised at 37,000 feet. The flight was smooth, with clear skies and no signs of trouble. At approximately 1340 UTC, while cruising over the Indian Ocean, south of Java, the crew noticed an unusual phenomenon on the windscreen, resembling St. Elmo's fire. This eerie glow is caused by static electricity, but in this case, it was a sign of something far more dangerous. Unbeknownst to them, they had flown into a cloud of volcanic ash from the eruption of Mount Galunggung. An active volcano in Indonesia had erupted earlier, spewing ash high into the atmosphere. Volcanic ash is composed of tiny, abrasive particles that can severely damage aircraft engines and systems. The ash cloud was invisible to the radar and the naked eye at night, making it impossible for the crew to detect and avoid. The abrasive ash particles began to sandblast the cockpit windows, reducing visibility and causing the engines to ingest the ash. The volcanic ash began to wreak havoc on the aircraft. Smoke started to fill the cabin, initially mistaken for cigarette smoke as you could still smoke on board. But soon, a strong sulfur odor spread, and passengers noticed the engines glowing blue. Within minutes, all 4 engines flamed out, starting with Engine 4, then Engine 2 and Engines 1 and 3 followed shortly, leaving the aircraft gliding without power. The crew was faced with a dire situation. Losing all 4 engines at cruising altitude is an extremely rare and dangerous event. The aircraft began to descend rapidly, and the crew had to act quickly to try and restart the engines. Captain Eric Moody made a calm but chilling announcement to the passengers in the cockpit that would later become legendary in aviation history. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have a small problem. All 4 engines have stopped. We are doing our damnedest to get them going again. I trust you are not in too much distress." Captain Moody and his crew declared an emergency to Jakarta Air Traffic Control, but their message was initially misunderstood. A nearby flight relayed the correct message. The crew calculated that they had about 23 minutes of glide time to find a solution. To safely cross the mountains on the south coast of Java, they needed to reach at least 11,500 feet. If they couldn't maintain altitude by 12,000 feet, they would have to turn back and attempt a risky ditching in the Indian Ocean. With the engines out, cabin pressure fell, triggering oxygen masks to drop. On the flight deck, Greaves's mask was broken, forcing Captain Moody to make a rapid descent to a breathable altitude. They attempted to restart the engines multiple times as they descended through the ash cloud. Miraculously, as the aircraft descended through 13,500 feet, Engine 4 restarted, and the other 3 engines followed shortly. But it was not over yet. As they began to climb again to reach their target altitude, St. Elmo's fire returned. Engine number 2 surged and had to be shut down again due to severe vibrations, forcing another descent to 12,000 feet. With 3 engines running, the crew managed to stabilize the aircraft and prepare for an emergency landing. The crew communicated with Jakarta Air Traffic Control, informing them of their situation and requesting an emergency landing at Halim Perdana Kusuma Airport. The controller controllers cleared the airspace and prepared for the emergency. As the aircraft approached the runway, visibility was severely compromised. Captain Moody could barely see through the windscreen, relying on a narrow strip of clear glass to guide the plane. Even so, the crew managed to successfully land the aircraft at Halim Perdanakusuma Airport in Jakarta. All 263 occupants survived without any injuries. The passengers and crew were relieved and grateful for the skill and composure of the flight crew. Post-flight investigations revealed that the dry ash cloud didn't appear on weather radar and deprived the engines of oxygen. Sand blasted the windscreen and clogged the engines. As the ash melted and adhered inside the engines, it caused them to fail. However, as the aircraft descended and cooled, the solidified ash broke off, allowing the engines to restart. The remaining generator and onboard batteries provided enough power for a successful restart. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating stories from the world of aviation. Until next time, this is Ghosts of the Sky, signing off.